Hello there, young whippersnapper. This is Billy Bob Brzezinski. I'm Mr. Brzezinski's uncle. And I'm going to take you down on the farm for this here lesson in Google Sheets. So let's go ahead. You already found this video. So I'm going to pull this video out of the tabs at the top of the screen. So I go up here to the tab bar and I click on the video tab, where I'm at YouTube, and I just click and drag it down and it opens up a new window for me. Hot dog! Now that I have a new window, I can pull that to the side, make sure the edge of my video ends up with the edge of my screen, so it's off to the side, but I'm able to do whatever thing I want to do out here in my normal project. So what I'm going to make sure that I'm doing is clicking on the lesson. I want to click on that link for the lesson and scroll down and check out the example. I can click on the example, take a look at it. Here's what I'm going to be making today. A bar graph. It's going to have all the fixings. A legend, colors, titles, all sorts of great stuff. So let's get to it. Giddy up, buckaroo. Let's make sure that we can add our work. So I'm back here on the stream and it says my work. So down below the video, down below the example, I'm going to add my work. This time I'm going to work in sheets, not docs, but sheets. I click on sheets right there. Now those nice folks over at Google, they create my file automatically for me. Isn't that nice? I'm going to click on my file right here and it's going to open up in a separate tab. Of course, I probably want to separate this tab again. I'm going to click on it and drag it down. Create a whole new window with just my spreadsheet on it. Now I want to set up my spreadsheet the same that I see right here. Ducks, pigs, dogs, so on and so forth in A1, A2, A3. So go ahead and just click onto the cells as you see them on your document. I got A1, I go ahead and click in ducks because I got ducks on my farm. I'm going to put in pigs next, and you just follow the directions as you see here, and I'm going to put in the numbers right over here in my spreadsheet. So I just click on the cell and I type in how many I have. Go ahead and fill in the rest of this chart now. Push pause, fill in the rest of that chart. Dang, you sure are quick. We got all that information right into our spreadsheet. Good job. Now what I want to do is create a chart. So to do this, I click and I drag across my chart. I want to select all my buttons here. So I'm going to click and drag right across. I'm going to mash down on that mouse. I'm going to select all the cells from A1 to B5 right there like this. Okay, so anytime I click outside and then I click once and I just drag right across. I got all that selected. Then I could scroll right over here to the More button. I click on More and I'm going to select Insert Chart. And the computer understands now that I'm going to use this information to create a chart. And only that information. I click on chart and it's working. Oh, it's cooking. So now it's giving me some recommendations, but I don't want that. I'm going to go over here to chart types. Click on chart types. And here are a few options. I'm not sure what's click or unclick on yours. But let's take a look. I want to make sure that I switch the rows and columns because right now it's all the same color. So I'm going to switch the rows and columns. I click on this button right here and now look what happens. Ooh, nice, right? All right, so now I can see that I have my legend over here. It's all changed up, but I only have 4. And over here on my chart, I had 5 animals on my farm. So I must be doing something wrong. Let's take a look right over here. Use row 1 as labels. I don't want to use row 1 as labels. I click on that and now it takes it away. So now I have all 5 of my chart items. Use column A as headers. I click on that and now look what happens. It actually says what the names of my animals are. That's exactly what I want right there. So I have check, check, uncheck. Darn tootin', I'm ready to customize this chart now. So I come over here to customization. I click on that, and I'm gonna title my chart, Old Berzinski's Farm. Type that in right there in that box, and I hit return, and looky here. It's right there on the top of my chart now. It's also going to ask me where I want the legend. Right now it's on the right hand side, as you can see. So instead of the right, I'm going to choose the bottom. Let's click on bottom right here, and you'll see it's all nice and spread out now. So I can see all my, I'm going to make that correction a little bit later. Don't worry about that now. We'll be able to fix that later once we have our chart in our document. So let's go ahead and scroll down below. I can also change my font. I could click on font right here and choose whatever font I want. I'll just use Comic Sans, but you can choose whichever one you want now. Hold on to your britches now, we ain't done. We're gonna scroll down the river. Alright, so I'm down here in axis. I want to name my axis, the bottom of my chart down here. And this is telling me the animals on the farm. So I'm going to put in animals on the farm. I hit return, and you'll see what happens. It puts it right in the bottom of my chart, just like that. And now I'm ready to insert it into my document. So I'm going to click on Insert right here. And you'll see it'll show up right here in my document. So there you have it. I'm going to take my chart, and I can actually move it around my screen by clicking anywhere on the top part here. And I'm going to just line it up side by side with my information right there on the side. Okay, and I do have a little bit of a problem here. Because if I look down here, it says there's only one of two. I only have 4 bits of my legend. I need all 5. I need to find out what my rooster is doing over here. So I'm going to come over here, grab hold of this handle on the right, and I'm going to drag it open until I see my roosters. There they are. So I'm all set now. I reckon I'm not very fond of these colors here. So I'm going to click right on the color of my chart table. And if I double click on it, it gives me an option to change that color. And I could do it simply as easy as this. And then I could just double click on the next one. And you could do whatever colors you want to color in your presentation. Double click. Just choose the colors. I'm going with nice pastels for my chart. So choose your colors now. Now, if I forgot something or I'm missing something, I can go back and fix it, of course, at any time. I can click on my chart, and all the way up in the upper right-hand side of my chart, I see this little drop-down. I click on that, and I got advanced editing strategies. I could click right there, and it takes me back to my menu. In case I forgot something, I could rewind this video and put it in the way I like it, the way I need to, okay? So right there, that was advanced editing strategies. And then, of course, when I'm done making my corrections, I can hit update. And then my chart will show the differences. I can also make some changes, and I would like for you to make some of these changes right now before I get ornery. I could just double click on an item that I'd like to change right there. I double click on it, and it gives me an option that I could change it up. So you can now, instead of Old Berzinski's Farm, you put in your last name. And then I can hit return, and it changes it up. And now I can also change the font color. So I would like for you to select your font color. You could choose one of the pictures of the colors that you used previously. But that's not that dark, so I'm going to darken it up a little bit. And there you have it. Now that's your farm list now. waking up at 6 a.m. Take care of your animals. One last thing before I'm through. I'm going to click on my bar again, and I'm going to give it a value so I can see exactly what this is supposed to be. Sometimes it's hard to tell what number this is. So I'm going to click on my data label, and I'm going to give my bar a value. I click on value, and it tells me exactly that this is 8. And now I could go ahead and do that for all of my bars so that I could see what the value is of all of them. So go ahead and do that now. Let's take a quick inventory to make sure I got all my bits in place. I created a chart using this information over here. I gave my chart a title, and I also named the access point down here. I moved my legend to the bottom, and I also stretched out my chart using this handle over here to make sure my roosters was included. Then I gave my chart some new colors and my values on my bars. I changed up my last name up top here, and I gave it a fresh coat of paint. All right, that looks like it. Let's go to try to turn this in now. I can see right here that Google has been saving this whole time, so my document has been saved. All changes have been saved. I can close down my document, and it brings me back to my stream where I can see my document is resting right here in my work. Now that I have it all done and complete, I'm able to hit the turn in button. Are you sure you want to turn it in? Google wants to know. I say, yes, I am done. Turn it in. Hot dog. Oh, birds and ski had a fun. E-I-E-I-O. There you see it. It has been completed. Now just wait for my grade. Thanks for visiting down on the farm. Y'all come back now, you hear?